So today I'm going to make a sensory table for the boys using PVC pipe and some fittings. The idea is this Tupperware container will be in a little PVC frame off the ground so that they can play in it. Water, toys, other kind of stuff, and it can stay outside. Got the chop saw set up to cut the PVC pipe. It's probably overkill, but I don't have one of those hand ratcheting tools, so let's get measuring and get this thing made. Here's how I set up my chop station. Cutting PVC makes a ton of debris, so I connected my shop vac to my saw to try and keep the mess down. When I needed to cut multiple pieces the same length, I first cut one piece, and then used that to measure for the next one, lining up the ends with each other, holding them tight, and then moving them back together until the first piece just touches the blade. Then it was more measuring, marking, and cutting. When measuring PVC, you need to make sure to account for the length of the pipe that gets inserted into the fitting. Here it was about half or 5/8 of an inch. PVC is flexible, so getting to the closest 1/4 inch was, I think, good enough. So then I just continued to measure, cut pieces to length, continue to dry fit them, until I had one section, mostly done. When I would get a good portion finished, I pushed them together against the floor to get them nice and tight. That way my dry fit was as tight as possible. So now here I am finishing up measuring and cutting for the top part of the sensory table. So this is going to be the top frame, and this will sit inside it. So I think I got my measurements pretty good. So now I'm going to use these elbows to build 2 support structures underneath, crosswise here, just to better support it in case we put a lot of water in there. And then I'll build legs for it to rest on the ground. So then I measured for the vertical legs of the support structures and cut 4 of those pieces. Those are pretty short, just a few inches. Then I measured for the cross part of the support structures and cut 2 of those pieces and then dry fit them together. Then I got to work making the base. Because I had the top all completed, I could measure for the long pieces of the base and then cut for the shorter ones as well, and then dry fit everything together. So you can see I've got the frame pretty much all cut and measured out and dry fit together. That'll work really well to support everything. This will be the base. So all I have left to do is to figure out how high I want it to be, cut 4 legs, and then finish dry fitting everything together, and then glue it all together, and it'll be done. We put 1 pipe in each hole. Here. You put it in the hole. I persuaded the boys to help with the final test fit. Good job. All right, put this one in the hole. Put this last one in the hole. Good job. Whoa. And look. Yeah, isn't that cool? Gluing PVC together is not hard, but it's easy to screw up. You first put a little bit of this purple primer on both pieces, then you put on the cement, then you put the pieces together and twist them, half turn, 1/4 turn, and then hold them together for about like 5-10 seconds, and then it's done, and it is solid. You're not going to get that undone. Where you can mess up, though, is when you start putting multiple pieces together and you've got to make sure that they are in the right plane. So what I did is when I came to put two pieces together, I had a flat surface, and then when I put them together, I pressed them down with two hands to make sure that the pieces were lined up together, like you can see that I'm doing there with the support structures. That way everything was at a 90-degree angle or vertical, as the case may be. And the last step was to glue all of the 4 legs into the base. I had to do all these at once. This was a little bit tricky. I had to be careful that the cement didn't set before I got every piece in, but it worked out. Just get it all in, put it in place, and then quickly push it all down. And there you have it. Finished sensory table, ready for use.